What's up, guys? Welcome to Nintendo Power Block, episode 149. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is that retro code, Eddie Fresh. To my
I'm
left.
a groupie.
Jeez. On my right here is the wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
How's it going, guys?
And, yeah, that reference Ed just made is going to be our big talking point on this episode. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Pokemon Direct. We're going to talk about how much Resident Evil costs on Switch for some reason, and we're going to talk about those Persona 5 rumors. But we're gonna get into some of this housekeeping real fast here, so we can move this show along, because I'm sure the Pokemon discussion is gonna be an interesting one, to say the least. Housekeeping for you: we are giving away a North American code for Yoshi's Crafted World on Nintendo Switch. Remember, all you have to do is screenshot your subscription to youtube.com/NintendoPowBlock and either tweet at us and follow us, or join facebook.com/group/NintendoPowBlock and post your screenshot and tell us your favorite video game memory. The winner will be announced on March 26th episode, so get your entries in today. Yoshi's Crafted World comes out on March 29th, so you will have it in time to play on launch day.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that demo was I'm intrigued by that game, just because, like, I know the demo was super easy, but like I'm interested to see how they play with the worlds and how the level design how they design the levels around playing it through twice, once forwards and once backwards. So
yeah.
Just give me the game. I want it.
Second on housekeeping, Nindy Showcase Season 2 is completed. You can now catch Seasons 1 and 2 on demand on youtube.com/NintendoPowBlock or on ngrradio.com today. Hit that subscribe button, because more shows are on the way, like Classically Trained, NG Arcade, and CubeCast. Speaking of seasonal shows, Pod and Play Season 4 is also underway, opening up with one of our favorite games from last year, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Yes. Upcoming episodes include The Division, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Spider-Man, and Sleeping Dogs, with more on the way. Subscribe to youtube.com/NGRradio today for Season 4, as well as our past seasons. I think that's all the housekeeping that I'm gonna go over today. But Ed, I've been editing the link to the past episodes, by the way.
Yes.
Oh boy, I'm bad at that game. So, but we're gonna go into what we've been playing. Jesse, I'm gonna start with you, since you weren't here last week. What have you been playing the past week or so?
Well, I'll like for Switch, I've been just mostly playing is it Gear Club or whatever,
the racing game?
Yeah.
My son, we went, and my wife actually went and got us a family video account again.
Oh.
And so they have Switch games and stuff to rent there.
Oh, nice.
And so the kids can go and rent movies, and Max is allowed to rent a game whenever they go now for Switch.
By the way, kids, renting games is something where you go to a store, you pay a small fee, and you get to take it home for a weekend or so, and then you have to take it back.
Something like Redbox.
Yeah.
But indoors.
But indoors.
So he rented that, and then I was playing that with him, and it's like basically a very, very condensed down version of Forza Horizons, I guess, or whatever. Well, I guess it would be more like the original for Forza,
like
where you're just doing the regular racing. But it wasn't bad. It's it was a decent game for what it is. So, but and then I did play the Yoshi demo, and that's basically mostly what I've been playing. Is I kept on starting that over and playing that, because that's a lot of fun.
Nice. Ed, you've been playing anything on that Nintendo Switch of yours?
Of course. Got back into playing Blossom Tale. Gonna be working on that with my next challenge. I'm really enjoying that game. And it's because of playing.
Ooh.
Someone's home.
Someone heard me playing about a video game. Just thought for Thursday. Because of watching Corey and helping them playing The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, I decided to jump back on a Blossom Tale and going to be working through that game. like really can't wait to get it out of get it done. Been practicing my run on Super Mario Brothers 2. Yeah, I still got that good old skill, but I'm definitely gonna have to play this with the gamepad.
Dude, I can't
the
wait
Pro
for that.
Controller. Oh, it's going to be amazing, dude. And I'm got to do with the Pro Controller because I'm trying. There's a point in when I used to play it on Nintendo, and I'm gonna get to my last game. There's a point in Nintendo that I was able to throw the egg at what's his name, and then be able to run, jump over him, grab the egg back up, and use that same egg to hit him. So I'm gonna see if I can still do that with the Pro Controller because I can't do it with the Joy-Cons and stuff. But working on that, and then last but not least, I'll be getting back into Fire Emblem, and also I'm sorry everybody, also playing Tetris 99, getting my tail kicked. But loving that game so much. So pretty much that's what I've been playing and everything for Switch. And then soon we'll be getting ready because once Yoshi's Crafted World drop, the rest of the year is all Switch.
Nice. Yeah, sorry, I was communicating with my wife about baby napping. So we're trying a new napping system and trying to get her to fall asleep system. And the first night she was like crying hysterically because like we're trying to put her to bed without like rocking her, or like, you know what I mean, like
yeah.
she can't be rocked to sleep forever. So we're trying that, and 2 times in a row now she has not made a peep. She just went down and fell asleep. So
Yeah.
You should play her the Legend of Zelda ASMR.
Well, what I've been doing, I don't know if you guys know who Lindsay Sterling is, but she did a cover of Zelda, a plethora of Zelda music, and so I put that on while she's falling asleep.
Is that the violin player?
Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing, dude.
I know, she did one for Assassin's Creed also, which is like really awesome.
Did she do an album like that?
Yeah, it's her very first set of music was based off of video games and movies and plays and stuff. Like she did a Phantom of the Opera one that's really good. But I've been playing that for her. Like I have some of her video game stuff recorded and put on a thing, so it's kind of nice.
Well, Corey, what have you been playing?
Tetris 99. God, dude, I've come in the top 10 like 30 times. I've come in second place 15 times and third place like 12 times. I can't get over that hump, man. I just can't get over that hump.
Sounds like me with Blackout.
Yeah,
for a while. For the longest time, I could get like second or third place, but I couldn't get first, and then I started getting it every once in a while. But
yeah,
but it took forever.
I just can't. I can't get over that hump, man. I just can't. And so, I've been playing that, and then inspired by this week's Pokemon Direct, I've been playing some Pokemon Let's Go. Because I have a feeling you're going to be able to transfer some Pokemon over from Let's Go to Sword and Shield. Which, by the way, I finally watched that Direct, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, it looks
and
good.
Like, I know
it looks so good.
I know it's not the Breath of the Wild change that everybody wants, but for being their first game on console and not on a handheld, it's like, man, that game looks really good, and I can't wait. I love the art style. I love the way they look and stuff. So, I mean, we'll get into that in a minute. But I've been playing Pokemon Let's Go. I made it to Misty, so I'm trying to, level up to take her on because water can beat electric, but electric can also beat water. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about that.
So I'm gonna try to pick that up Friday along with Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah,
this weekend.
It's a little too easy. Guests. It's a little too easy, but I mean, it's still fun. It's still good. Like when my kid is old enough, I'm excited to watch her play this because I feel like it's that it is that. It's like kids' first Pokemon game. So I'm really excited to play that. I always get confused because like I'm looking over this way because this is where the Skype call is, but I should be looking over here because this is where the camera is, and I'm just like, it always looks like I'm looking away from you guys. It just looks bad.
It is.
But
it's okay.
But yeah, that's kind of all I've been playing on the Switch front. I played Mario Tennis Aces also because the updates are coming out for the new characters, and I'm just like, I wonder if they change any of this. And let me tell you what, man, I really wish Mario Tennis got a better shake because it's still really fun. You know, it's like really fun. And
it's on my list of games to get. Thank you.
So it's good. And then Smash, I played a little bit of Smash too, but it's still Smash, man. Piranha Plant, it's a good character. It's a dumb fun character that I can't believe they added into that game. So it makes me like, with all these characters they're adding, it makes me wish they had Mario Kart characters, or they add characters to Mario Kart. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I want like just a character bundle for Mario Kart.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Mario Kart 8, by the way, great game. I play a little bit of that too, by the way. It's still really good.
Yeah, and I played a bunch of Super Mario Brothers too. I've been playing that a lot lately because that's the one I probably played the least. Like, I've always enjoyed it. It wasn't that I didn't like it. It's just it just was always the one I played the least because I just always like 3 the most. But
well, this one is going to be when me and Corey plays it. He gets to choose my character. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for classic, I'm going to make you play the whole game as Luigi. Ed and I are doing Classically Trained, and my first game was A Link to the Past, so his first game is going to be Mario 2. But the twist is I get to pick what character he's playing. So, and I know everybody wants to play as Toad because he's the fastest, but
I don't think I've ever played as Toad.
Oh, see, Toad's the fastest, and he can pick up the vegetables faster than everybody else.
Yeah,
but he also can't jump as high.
Oh, okay.
But Luigi is like super floaty and can't land where you want him to because he's Luigi. So
yeah.
Oh man, Luigi.
Man,
Mario 2, fantastic game. If you guys have Nintendo Switch Online and you haven't downloaded the NES app, you should play Super Mario Brothers 2. It's a great game. It's my favorite NES Mario game, I think. I know it's not really the best one, quote unquote, but it's still my favorite because it's the one that I spent the most time with. It was the first Mario game I had, which is odd because I know a lot of people's first game was Mario 1 with the gun and Duck Hunt and whatever, which my cousin ended up giving me later, but like my first 2 games were Mario 2 and Turtles 2, so or the arcade game. So
you're right, Jesse. It's Birdo. That's the one that
Birdo. Yeah.
Couldn't think of this. Couldn't think of.
Gotta ride those eggs to the secret worlds. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's all I've been playing. That's all. Anybody else want to talk about anything else before we move on to this direct? Because it's a doozy.
Let's get on to this direct because I have thoughts.
Yeah, this direct, man. What a direct! What a super informative 7 minutes this was.
You know what? Even outside of the direct, Pokemon Day was very successful. The movie trailer, Mewtwo Strikes Back.
You want to? I thought you were talking about the Detective Pikachu trailer.
Yeah, the Detective Pikachu. There was 2 movie trailers.
What a cool movie. I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. Like, I like Pokemon enough, but like, I mean, Ed, we've had this conversation before. Like, I'm not really a huge Pokemon fan, but like, Detective Pikachu, man, that movie is that's gonna be a hit. I'm gonna make a big prediction here and say that movie is gonna be a hit.
A lot of people cannot wait now to see it. Like, a lot of people were sold on it with this new trailer.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were kind of like sketchy about it. Just realistic Pokemon. Come on, that's it looks weird to some people, but like I cannot wait, man. That movie is gonna be so awesome. Yeah.
And then, go ahead, Jesse.
And then I'm excited for the Mewtwo movie though as well. Like, I think I'm more excited about that.
And I had to, and because when you sent it to me, I seen people talk about it, but I couldn't get a trailer for it. I couldn't, but you sent me the trailer, Jesse, and I was just like, this looks good.
The animation is freaking amazing.
Right, and
it just looks so awesome.
And I wonder who did the animation. I wonder if this was the Pokemon Company doing it, or if whoever they hired to do that animation. I was just like, oh, this needs to come to America.
Yeah, that's the only problem is I really hope we get it.
If
I will be bummed if we don't.
If not, I would at least like it to be subtitled or dubbed.
Yeah, subtitled is fine.
Yeah, but it looks really, really good. And I kind of was just like, I can actually see part of this on like the Nintendo Switch as an intro or something.
Yeah, I mean that you guys are talking about the Mewtwo Strikes Back or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, Evolved or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see the original movie, so I have no whatever towards it, but
I didn't either, actually, but it just like this one just looks so amazing though. It doesn't matter.
I kind of want to buy all the anime movies because I haven't seen all of the Pokemon movies neither. So I would love to kind of see all the anime movies.
Yeah, I was super into the show when I was little, but then I never saw the movies. I don't know why. I never saw the movies. But I was super into the show. I was super into the cards. I was super into the games. It's just like, man, after Gold and Silver, man, I just kind of fell off. You know what I mean? It just.
Well, that's like with me with like I guess I've seen most of them, but like I love like Naruto the show, and I've watched almost every episode. But I haven't seen all the movies. I think I've seen like 2 or 3 of them, and I think there's probably like at this point like 8.
Right.
So,
but this Pokemon Direct.
Yeah. Ed, I'm sure you have a lot more notes than I do on this. So, but man, what a cool Direct. I want to say that these are probably my favorite looking starters since Gold and Silver. Like across the board. Like there's been some cool looking ones like individually, but just as like a set of starters, they look super cool.
Yes, I will agree with you. I don't think they're the best because I think when it comes to the starter, every time I see the starter Pokemon, I love them like automatically, and like they end up becoming my favorite. So these are like kind of my favorite at the time, and I just can't help it. I like. Once I seen, okay, so the starters are, if everybody know, Grookey.
Yeah. So, before we even do that, the Pokemon Direct kind of showed off the new starters. They showed off a couple new Pokemon, and they showed off the new region, which is based on London, which is really cool.
Yes.
I'm dude. Why didn't they do this before? You know what I mean? Like just like the vast kind of landscapes and different, like you can go into cities, you can go into these farm towns, you can go like. What a cool landscape that they chose. It's called the Galar region. But anyways, continue with the starters. We're going to talk about starters now. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, Grookey, he is a grass type Pokemon. He's monkey. That's me. I can't wait to see what he evolves into. His animation is going to be really nice. We have Scorbunny, who is a fire type, and he literally reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog. He's a Sonic character.
Man, you just ruined him for me. I'm just kidding.
Corey is Scorbunny, and
fire for life.
And Sable, who is a water type, kind of fish-looking character. I gave that to you, Jesse.
Not exactly thrilled, but
because
we'll
I think,
out.
but you're mostly fire type, also. I think when it comes to starters, right?
For me,
yeah.
Well, it usually I don't care about like their elements. It's for me, it's usually just how they look.
But you have such a chill vibe, and that's how Sabo is. It's just Oh, go ahead, Corey.
Oh, I was just
Because like I like Squirtle. I mean, so
I was
like
just
he
gonna,
needs a water.
I was just gonna say I think Grookey looks the coolest, but just out of spite of Ed always choosing grass type, I'm not picking him because Ed still thinks Bulbasaur is the best starter in Gen 1, and
Yeah.
statistically and difficulty wise, yes, Bulbasaur is probably the best starter because he can beat the first 4 gyms no problem. But I'm not picking him because I refuse to pick grass type because of Ed.
I put that work in my grass.
Whoa, that's a different podcast.
Right. But I think Sabo is so cool. Like, he's just very laid back and cool, and he literally got so much love on online after everybody showed him. People were trying to make fun of him, but dude, there's so much fan art about Sabo. Everybody really are pretty much just going to choose him, and I just think because he is just so cool and laid back. Because even when they did Sun and Moon, or I think it's Sun and Moon 2, it was one of them that everybody's just oh, I'm gonna go for Litten, or I'm gonna pick the odd one, but everybody ended up loving the third one that people didn't care for, and they were just oh, he's kind of the best one out of that people were loving. So it's, for me, with the starters, just I just love all the starters in all the Pokemon games, and because Grookey is grass type, I went straight for him, not even looking at his character, recognizing him. I was just oh, that's grass type, one of them. That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah. But I Score Bunny. I think Score Bunny is the one that I'm gonna stick with, just because since Gen 1, I think every time I start a Pokemon game, I start with the fire Pokemon just because I like it. Even though I still think shoot, what was the Chikorito from Silver?
I think so.
The grass type one. I liked Chikorito the best, but I still picked whatever the fire one was in Silver. So, but Score Bunny's cool. I'm definitely picking Score Bunny. So, yeah, man, it's Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's happening.
And yes, everybody, I am buying most of them. Now, this is a thing.
Is this going to be the game that gets because for the original Game Boy ones, I bought a second Game Boy just so I could trade Pokemon back and forth to myself because I didn't have any friends. Womp womp. Is this game going to do the same thing? I hope not.
I don't think so. I know. I mean, because definitely, I'm getting it because if you guys need a Pokemon you want to trade with, I could pop that game in and do the trading with you guys. Yeah. So I'm all in.
We're gonna have to do that with all 3 starters, probably.
Yeah.
We'll just all trade each other the starters before we. Man.
So, but that's kind of what I'm going to do. We really don't know what the story is. I don't know if they show any of the antagonists in it. I think they were just showing the landscapes and areas and some of the new Pokemon and everything. I think the one thing that I am kind of disappointed in is just I thought they should have added 3 more starters. They have a choice of 6, and then go from there.
I am a little kind of surprised that they have never really moved away from grass, fire, and water types. But
I was gonna say that would have been nice if they would have gave you had one of each type, even.
Yeah. Or like Ed said, if you added 6, you could still keep grass, fire, and water, but then you could have electric. What are the other
Psychic.
basic?
Psychic.
I feel
electric, ghost.
I'm trying
fighting.
to think of the simplest ones to go with, because if you're getting people in there, I understand grass, fire, and water are the easiest ones to kind of wrap your mind around, because once you get into psychic and ground or maybe not ground, but even something like
fighting.
Well, steel, I guess would be one. Yeah, would be one. Those are kind of harder elements to wrap brain around, I guess, if you're new to the series and trying to figure everything out. So like I get that, but like there's got to be 3 other simple ones. Like fighting, I feel like would be a simple one to wrap your mind around. Or electric is definitely a simple one to wrap your mind around, you know? So,
yeah. Even if they just did 5, just do fighting and electric. Yeah.
Or even a normal is a type, I guess, like Eevee.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I mean, but to be fair, like I do like the new starters. I think they're cool looking. The world looks amazing. Like I really like the European influences of the way the towns look and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. So, yeah, man, that Pokemon Direct was great. I can't wait to play it. I'm glad, like, I like the way the battles look. I like it's not quite as like 3D as Let's Go, you know, because I think Let's Go is using the assets of Pokemon Go to an extent, that art style at least. But they do have kind of like it has its own unique kind of look to it, where it's like half cell shaded, half 3D almost.
Something that at points it had like a 3DS still, like that sprite based.
Yeah,
they
looked like up-resed versions of Sun and Moon assets almost. Where like, don't get me wrong, that's cool. I just like they still have that art style, and so like I like that they're using that to kind of differentiate it from Let's Go, because like. I mean, even though Let's Go is still technically a Pokemon game, it's a different type of Pokemon game.
Yes.
And you need that differentiating factor so people don't go into Sword and Shield being like, oh man, I like expecting it to be Let's Go, and then they go in and they have to fight like random battles and everything. So,
and yes, everybody, I said that Pokemon wouldn't come to Switch.
I know you did.
So,
I wasn't going to mention that, but it was probably like 100 episodes ago. But yeah, here it is, Ed.
Here it is.
Here it is.
And I'm super stoked that it is going to be on Switch. We're all probably going to choose which ones, but I'm saying I'm getting both. Jesse, which one are you getting? Do you plan? If you're planning to get it, do you know which one?
I'll probably eventually get both of them. I don't know, but
you should get one for your kids and one for you.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
I'll probably get Sword.
Yeah, I'll get both, but I'll probably just play Sword, because who wants to use a shield? Honestly, who wants to be the shield? So of course you do.
That's the shield.
All right, we're gonna move on to our next story here. Little bit of a different story here. Resident Evil 1, 4, and 0 are all coming to Switch, this month? But they each have a price tag. If you want to buy all 3 of them, it's going to cost you $90 for these very old games that cost $20 each on the other platforms. So,
now,
also,
is it the remake of 0 and 1?
Yeah, they're the remakes.
Oh, okay.
But
as
it's
long
still
as that's
yeah, but they're $20 a piece on PlayStation and Xbox, and the Switch downloads are only going to be $30. So
right, and you can pretty much there's a compilation one I think PS4 for like $30 for Resident Evil 0 and 1 together.
Yeah, well, there's actually a triple pack available on Xbox and PlayStation for $40 for all 3.
Okay.
So,
well, is it? I wonder, because they're gonna have to put them all on individual carts.
They're not. They're only digital. They're only
digital.
There's gonna be an HD collection of 1 and 0, but only 0 is on the cartridge, which is arguably the worst one.
And I think they said 1 is on cartridge. I think 4
no, one is not going to be on cartridge. They confirmed it.
Oh, because I read it. Are you looking at Nintendo Life?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading it, and I thought 2 of them were going to be on cartridge. 1 of them is going to be on download. Because in the UK, all 3 games are going to be only is digital only. And
Yeah, 1 and 4 are going to be digital, and then 0 is going to be on the cart, which is dumb.
Okay.
Because if you're going to buy the Origins collection, you would want 1 on the cart and 0 as the download.
right.
Yeah, man, this is from Nintendo Life. The news that Resident Evil HD Remaster, Resident Evil 0, and Resident Evil 4 are coming to the Switch was met with a positive response recently, even if Capcom made the whole purchasing approach totally and utterly confusing. While North American players get the HD Remaster and 0 in a lovely box, Resident Evil 4 is download only, and European Switch owners only have digital options. Still, these are 3 fine games, irrespective of how they are delivered, and to be able to play them on Switch is great. However, it would seem that Capcom is very in favor of the infamous, quote, Switch tax, as as it has priced all 3 games at $29.99 each in the UK and in North America. So if you want the trio, you're looking at an investment of $90. There's currently a 3-pack of the same 3 games on PS4 and Xbox One in the UK, for $40, and it's been as low as 16, well, I guess pounds if you're talking about UK, which there is a bundle in North America as well. So
and you probably could get all 3 games for $25.
Dude, you could get
GameStop.
Well, you can get the HD Origins collection 4, 5, and 6 for less than $90 now. on those platforms, even digitally, because like I think they were all like $8 last week, or the week.
Yeah,
those
are on sale all the time.
Yeah, the week Resident Evil 2 came out, they were all like in between $8 and $10. So.
And sorry, Switch players, just go spend $60 to get Resident Evil 2 or PS4, Xbox One. It's well worth it in these 3 games.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like these games are great in their own right, but like. They're not worth $30 anymore.
Right.
Like, especially if they're not putting any work into them, really. They're just porting them.
Yeah, and chances are if you're going to get 2 or you're a big Resident Evil fan, you've probably found a way to get them already anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, the big draw to these is that they're going to be portable, but, like, I don't know.
Do you really want to play Resident Evil on
That's
a
what I'm saying.
portable?
That's the thing. This is like the one series you're going to want to play on your TV with the lights out and the sound and your headphones on in the dark. You know? So,
and as much as I like the remake, I honestly, I'd rather just go and get the Resident Evil 1 on DS and play that.
Oh, jeez.
with the knife.
Wow.
The knife function.
Wow. Oh, yes.
It was good. It wasn't that bad, actually.
I'll take your word for it. But if you have $90 burning a hole in your pocket, I guess you could. But there are cheaper ways to get this game.
Right. If you're not gonna buy the Dead or Alive 6 season pass, buy these 3 games.
Yeah. The last news story today that we're going to cover is actually a rumor from Nintendo Life. As per their sources, rumor: Persona 5S expected to arrive on Nintendo Switch this fall. Ever since Nintendo revealed Joker from Persona 5 would be added to Smash Bros. Ultimate as a playable DLC fighter, there have been ongoing rumors that the Persona series about the Persona series coming to the Switch. Atlas fueled speculation when it's registered multiple domains last December and then confirmed the existence of Persona 5R, also known as P5R, with a teaser trailer and official website launch in December. In the latest development, a reliable leaker who previously spoke about Persona 5R ahead of its reveal has taken to Twitter to reassure fans a Switch release is happening. According to Mr. Oh Yeah, wow, that's a name, who goes by the Twitter handle Jared Oh Yeah, Atlas will be releasing Persona 5S on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 this fall. And then it has his tweets. He didn't stop there, though, suggesting that they would all be revealed in the month of May. And so I don't know why there would be a Persona event in March and then another one in May, but unless it's happening around another Nintendo Direct, but we'll see. But Persona 5 is a game that people have been wanting on Switch for a long time. I really don't know how that works, because I really thought that Sony had some sort of like not exclusive deal, but like some sort of monetary kind of funding in Persona?
I don't know. They don't. It's just that because Atlas owns the Persona, and
I know Atlas owns Persona, but I always thought Sony would like gave them money to make it exclusive at some point.
No, because of Persona and Shin Megami Tensei being separate and switching, Persona just was successful on Sony's platform. Because most of Atlas games have been on Nintendo consoles, so Nintendo will mostly have paid for any kind of development to get Persona 5 if they wanted to, but they just chose not to due to that fact. And I think because of Shin Megami Tensei, now that's bigger than Persona being on Switch. Shin Megami Tensei has been a big thing on Sony for the past ever since PlayStation 2, and now that's coming more on Nintendo's platform over Sony.
Yeah, because wasn't 4 and whatever, like, you know, kind of updates to 4, weren't they? All they were all on 3DS kind of exclusively, right?
Yeah. So I think more people, I mean, because of Joker, you know, being something one they chose, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's the Persona series getting it. I'm like, no, it could happen. Not saying that it should happen.
Well, my thing has always been like, I think Persona will make it over to Switch, but not in the way that people want it. I think it's going to be like those dancing games for 3 and 5.
I would prefer more of a sequel to Persona Q. Or
Persona Q2 is coming to 3DS. So
okay, well, probably Persona Q for Switch. I think that would happen more likely than Persona 5 coming to Switch. Nintendo said that they're trying to do the unexpected with Smash characters, and this was very unexpected with Joker coming. Now, just because Nintendo is having Joker in Smash doesn't guarantee anything happening for the Persona series coming to it. Persona as the main series feels right on PlayStation.
I mean, we've had Smash characters that never appeared on Nintendo consoles before. I mean, well, until now, like Cloud. You know, Cloud was on Wii U, the Wii U version of Switch, way before he was even before Final Fantasy VII ever made its way over, and it's still not. I mean, it's coming out eventually, but like, you know, I think that was more of a. I don't think Nintendo was planning on ever having Final Fantasy VII on a Nintendo platform before they got Cloud, right? Yeah. Or, you know, Solid Snake. I know Twin Snakes was on GameCube, but like that series never really resonated on a Nintendo platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but because of Metal Gear as the series started out on NES.
Well, it started out on MSX and then ported.
What an issue. Yeah. I think here for America that we recognize it on NES though.
Yeah,
you're being historically correct. Yeah. Because of MSX in Japan, you're definitely correct.
Yeah, it was funny. I saw this meme floating around the internet the other day. It said Nintendo's making PlayStation All Stars better than Sony did, and it just was a picture of Joker, Cloud, and Snake. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. So,
but Jesse, your thoughts on it? I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of a bummer. I would like to see Persona 5 on Switch. Like, just because I think it would sell a lot. Like I think it would just be completely worth it for them to put the money into doing that. But you know, as far as that goes,
yeah.
But like as far like and with the Smash and all that stuff, like it's, you know, it's cool. I guess, you know, that they're bringing some of the characters in there regardless if it doesn't happen. But
yes,
yeah,
but yeah.
And I think the from the role playing RPG base or JRPG base, since they're getting Dragon Quest S, Persona 5 R would complement them in a sense. I just don't think right now that this announcement will happen.
The thing is too is like this year is just getting too crowded already. You know what I mean? Like as much as I want Persona 5 on Switch, like if they didn't do it this year, and like say they made the announcement that it was coming to Switch, but it wasn't coming till like next, like maybe January, February ish. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that would be way better time slot, and it would sell
Yeah,
way better than like. Dude, look at this fall already, man. Like it's there this whole year in general. Like there's so much coming out already. That look at April and May in particular, right? Like Ed, we had that conversation. Like, look how full they're getting. Like there's no way something like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure Persona fans would flock, but like if you want more people to buy the game than just the Persona fans or RPG fans, like you need to put it out in a window where it's not so crowded.
Right, like Persona 5 would literally Persona 5 for Switch would just have to come out in December because everything is full. You don't want to put Persona 5 when Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out. That's crazy.
I don't think it would come out until next year if it did.
I mean, you've got,
because honestly, I think it's going to take a little bit of work to get it to port over, anyways. So
yeah. Plus, like you said, Ed, we have 2 major RPGs coming out this fall, and Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then Dragon Quest S. Like we have RPGs this fall, plus all the Final Fantasy dump coming out in April. So,
dude, and then we also got Fire Emblem 3 Houses in July. Like,
yeah,
where's that? And we have. Dude, and we have like the Square Enix game, the Okinawa or something like that. We got all of that stuff coming out, and Persona 5, like I said, it would be good for it to come out to Switch, but it's just like there's so much already on this system. I think we're up to November. From this month to November, we got straight list of games that we're probably going to be looking at to buy on Switch, regardless of how they turn out.
Plus, the theory is that Nintendo's not afraid of December, and the big rumor is that Bayonetta 3 is going to come out in December. So, because that's,
I could see that.
Well, Bill Trennan did say that everything mentioned in the Direct was coming out this year, and so they mentioned Bayonetta. So now everybody thinks that Bayonetta 3 is going to be their December game, in that slot where Smash and Xenoblade came out.
Yeah.
So, which I wouldn't mind that. I think that's a fine slot for Bayonetta. Like, you're not gonna put it, theoretically Zelda in October and Pokemon in November. You're not gonna put it in the same month as those two. It does. Right. It has a hardcore following that's gonna buy it anyway, but it also won't really attract like the broader audience until people start talking about it. So you want that hardcore audience to go out and buy it to spread the word. So I think December is like the perfect spot for that. But
yeah, because I feel like you need Zelda, you need Link's Awakening in September, you need Luigi's Mansion for October, you need Pokemon for November, and then Bayonetta for December. Mm-hmm. You have those four, because you're gonna finish Link's Awakening within 3 to 4 days. It's not a long game unless they added extra content that we don't know about.
Yeah, I still don't think it's gonna be a super long game. It's probably gonna, if they add anything to it, it's probably gonna be like to do everything and get 100% it, unless they have hidden secrets and stuff, like you said, if they're adding stuff to the game, which I don't think, if they're going to add stuff, it's not going to be that big of a thing. Like maybe they'll retool some of the dungeons or add a Switch specific dungeon, but like on top of that, like I don't see that game really being longer than like 20 hours.
Yes.
So
Nintendo, add the original and color versions to the game of Link's Awakening.
All right, guys, we have one question for Question Block. We do have a lot more questions, but episode 150 is next week, and we're saving a lot of the Question Block questions for that episode because we want to. Episode 150 is a big milestone, and we want to answer your questions and kind of celebrate episode 150 with answering your questions and stuff. But if you have a question, you should email us at nintendopalblock@gmail.com with the subject line Question Block. So, sorry, I kind of lost my place in that. But anyway, Deshaun Malone writes in, he says, "Yo, Blockers, I was just thinking about my Switch and was wondering how y'all feel about the console after 2 years. Happy birthday, Switch." Yeah, today, right? No, tomorrow is the third. It starts year 3 of the Switch. And Switch is 2 years old as of tomorrow. Well, as of this recording, so Sunday. It's been out for 2 years, and I mean, I think the Switch is pretty successful. You know.
Like I stated, that it has changed gaming. It has changed the industry, in the sense that people want a lot of third-party games to come on the system, regardless if it's a port or whatever. And there's something about the Switch that is appealing to more people, casual, new, or hard, that makes them want to pick up the system. And it regardless if they've been 3DS owners, DS owners, or just Wii owners, something about Switch is being appealed to somebody, and more people are talking it over the big graphics of Xbox and PlayStation and even PC. There's still a discussion and talk about Nintendo Switch. So this system is not only a hit, universal, I would say that, but I think this kind of revitalized a lot of people in the gaming community and the gaming industry that I don't think no other system has in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Switch it does a lot of things right, and it also kind of hit in the right place where, like, this kind of generation that we're in now is a lot of people care more about convenience than fidelity. I mean, I think when Netflix came out, that kind of proved true, and it's kind of moving into games, and that's why you see digital downloads up year over year, because it's more convenient for people to sit on their couch and buy a game than it is to go to the store, buy it, bring it home, stick the disc in, and every time you switch a game, you want to switch the discs out. You know what I mean? Like, we're in this kind of generation of convenience over fidelity, and the Switch does that by being the handheld and the home console. And so you get awesome experiences in handheld mode, like Doom and Wolfenstein and Skyrim, and all these third-party games coming over, LA Noire even, and
yes,
moving into a kind of, hey, it's convenient because I can pop it in the dock, play it on TV, and then if I'm going somewhere, I can take it with me, continue my progress, and then continue it on the TV when I get home. That is the biggest draw of the Switch, and I think a lot of people are like, if they have a console at home like PS4 or Xbox, right, the Switch is becoming their quote-unquote second console, which is making it sell better because it's people's second console, so that means it's selling more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does a lot of cool things to differentiate itself, which Nintendo has always done that with its software. Zelda, Mario, whatever. Like, they've always been that company that differentiates itself from other companies, whether it's through software, through hardware, like the Wii, portability, like the Game Boy and DS lines. Like, they've always been that company, and the Switch is like that perfect amalgamation of everything they've done since the NES, to be honest with you. Like, they found a way to make a console that everybody loves in a certain way, right? Like, I actually prefer playing my Switch on the TV over handheld mode, but like, I do play it in handheld mode more than I would like to. I mean, to be fair, because like the baby and us watching TV and everything like that. But playing the Switch in handheld mode, like, I like playing it in handheld mode because I get to play games while I'm watching TV or doing something else. And then when my wife goes to bed or whatever, I'll just pop in the dock and play more on the TV, right? So, and that's just the hardware itself. Like, it's come out with some of my favorite games of almost all time, really. I mean, Breath of the Wild, for one, is an amazing game. Valkyria Chronicles is an awesome game. I can't wait for Fire Emblem. Like, that version of Fire Emblem is going to be awesome. I just had this. I can't wait for Fire Emblem.
But Jesse, what's your thoughts?
All right, yeah. For me, like, I think what it is it's kind of like back in the day, Super Nintendo, NES, they like, video games were becoming like a new thing, and it just like they just right away they hit it off because it was just such a big deal.
Yes.
And then when you had the Wii, like they had that whole like the new vibe of like being able to use motion and like like breaking that stereotype of games just being people sitting around being lazy, and and that like they brought something to it that would change it and appeal more to like a broader audience. And then with this, I think what it is it's just kind of like what Corey said, is we're in an era now where like kids use tablets and people use their phone for everything now. Like you can play games, like Fortnite and all that on your phone, and so like they just took that idea of seeing like the people kind of that are growing up right now in this era with tablets and all that, and they've found a way to appeal to those people and appeal to the people that are used to playing everything on a console where it just kind of sits still.
And like they've kind of played up, they tried that. I mean, they did try that with the Wii U in terms of like the tablet thing, but like they I mean, I like the Wii U, but like they found a way to kind of like streamline that with the Switch, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you get all the best Wii U games on the Switch now anyway, but except for
and I think the problem with the Wii U though is it was still more of a controller than it was a tablet.
Yeah.
Like it like yes, you could technically play stuff on it, but it was very limited.
Yeah,
so
single touch, no like pressurized touching, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just very limited. You couldn't like play actual like big full games on it like independently, as well as you can with the Switch. I think that's the thing, is unfortunately like with the technology at the time, like just wasn't quite ready to be able to do what the Switch needed to do. And that probably was that probably was what they wanted to do originally, but it just wouldn't have been cost effective because Nintendo's always wanted to be about trying to make an affordable system.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. You said the right thing with it.
Well, and I just want to add one more thing too that I think really helps this generation is the fact that all this stuff that we're seeing, just Nintendo in general as a company has grown like so much during the just these last couple of years. The fact that they were all in like right away on the crossplay, and just we can't overlook that part of it too as well, that I think has really helped make the Switch successful in many other ways. Like I think that's the thing, is it's just like it's a really good time in general to be a gamer, and it's a really good time in general to own a Nintendo system.
They got away from being restrictive like the past was. Like they hopped on board, like you said, Jesse, with crossplay. They did region free, and that's been working for them because people have been doing a Japanese Nintendo Switch online in the Nintendo eShop and buying like Nintendo eShop points off of Amazon Japan and doing that stuff. And like, who would have thought Nintendo be like, no, we really don't want. No, Nintendo's just like, go ahead, it's there. You know how to do it. Have fun. The Nintendo Online, Switch Online, doing the family plan and stuff, regardless of how people do it, putting in their $5 thing, it's working for them. So Nintendo has like become more open and stuff. Now, granted, regardless of whatever you want to take Nintendo Switch Online and all of this other stuff, you cannot deny, whether you're looking on social media, where you're talking to your friends and stuff, there's people talking about Switch. People putting pictures of I'm flying to Thailand. I got my Switch with me. Speaking
of that, like that share button or the screen cap button on the system itself is genius. Like I know PlayStation did that. and Xbox does it to an extent, but like a lot of times that stuff's like kind of Nintendo streamlined it is what I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's not that those versions of the share stuff is complicated or anything, but like Nintendo, all you do is press the button and it takes the screenshot. You don't have to, like on Xbox you have to like press the select button and then press Y to take the screenshot.
Yeah.
And then like just eliminating that step, going into a menu and taking the screenshot is like it's perfect, and be able to like
video capture.
Yeah, I haven't really used video capture that much on Switch, but like, I'm assuming it's the same way. You just hold it down, right? That's yeah. So,
but you see a lot of that being used for a lot of people's media posts, and that's really cool for Nintendo because that just showcases on. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they could do that in the game. Let me buy this game. Oh, there's a 40% sale on it. Let me buy this game. Like,
all they have to do is add Instagram to your share posting.
Oh, good night. I think I'll start using Instagram once again. Everybody subscribe to Nintendo_P blog on Instagram.
That's like, for pictures and stuff, that's perfect. Just share it to Instagram and then it automatically shares to everything else. But I digress. But just to kind of like wrap up this question a little bit, like I really think the Switch the name Switch kind of defines Nintendo this generation, not just the console, but the direction, like you were talking about, Ed and Jesse, like the way the company's moving in terms of crossplay and online stuff and playing nice with other companies like Microsoft and helping Psyonix get Rocket League crossplay. Like they said anything you need, to make this work, to make crossplay work, they've really taken steps in the right direction. And yeah, their online is still a little clunky and slow, and their eShop needs cleaned up a little bit, I think, in terms of discoverability, but the Switch, I still think the Switch is probably the best console that Nintendo's made to date. And just taking the company in a new direction and playing nice with everybody and the games. The games are so good. I can't tell you how many times I've thought about restarting Breath of the Wild just to play it again, but I don't want to lose all 900 Korok seeds. That's the only problem.
Just make another account.
I did.
Make another account.
I did. I have a quote unquote guest account, but like, does the DLC if one person buys the DLC, can the rest of the accounts play it?
Nope.
No.
Nope. It stuck to that one account.
Yeah. See, like that's the thing. I want to play the DLC and stuff again too. I guess I could start Master Mode, but then it would just be too hard, and I don't want to do that. But Odyssey has done super well. Like having Doom and Wolfenstein on Switch, like if I told you in 2017 that one of the most intensive first-person shooters of all time and Doom would be on Switch at some point, you would have laughed at me. Sorry, you would have. And like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't look the best on Switch, but what's there is like pretty impressive.
Nintendo Switch put Bethesda in a new light.
I know.
And like, in fact, there's so much stuff on Switch that put them on a new light. Remember how whatever Konami did, it felt like all was forgiven when Super Bomberman R came out, and that sold a bajillion copies.
And we got cool experiments from Ubisoft like Starlink and Mario plus Rabbids. Yeah. Like, those are cool games. Like if I ever get this base fixed, or if I ever like get the digital version, which is on sale right now, by the way, for like $30, the digital deluxe edition where you get everything is like $30 right now digitally.
And that would be so worth it.
And then too, if the rumor of Game Pass coming to Switch, like Microsoft and Nintendo together, like that's another historic moment if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that's not if, it's when.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just when.
I'm saying more that if because the Game Pass could be something completely different. I'm just saying on Switch, from what we normally think of Xbox. But I'm just like, if it happens, that's just going to change. I'm like, that's just going to be changing gaming in general, and Nintendo Switch and Microsoft, like
Hmm.
that would blow up a lot of people's mind. You
Yeah.
would think that Microsoft would change the game with all it's trying to do, but Nintendo,
Look, man, if Microsoft puts Rare Replay, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Cuphead on Switch, like, man, just natively, not even through Game Pass, just natively, which is kind of the rumor right now, at least for Ori. That's Look, man, Microsoft's been making some interesting moves. We've been talking about that on Arsenal X for a while, but like, if you have Xbox as kind of like the service style thing, and you have Switch as your handheld and PlayStation as your kind of like beefy console almost, like everybody's going to be able to have the best of everything.
you have your universal console. In a
Yeah,
sense.
pretty much. And so,
I just thought of something. What if like for somehow like Xbox or Microsoft paid Nintendo to be able to put, like, it wouldn't be on the Xbox version, but on the Switch version of it, like some of the Nintendo games would be in the
well, it would be like
in,
Rare Replay
in
Plus.
the game. Yeah. I mean, no, I just mean like actual like Switch games would be in the Game Pass.
Oh, and
but
Game
they would,
Pass.
but they would pay Nintendo for whatever game they want to put in the Game Pass. But it would only be on the Switch version.
Would you charge $25 a month for it, or still keep it or $15 a
I
month?
think I think it would be.
Still keep it.
To me, like, I mean, I know we're gonna probably talk about this later, and I kind of want to wrap this up because we have another pressing matter to talk about. But I think at some point Microsoft is going to look at Game Pass and be like, we're going to have tiered Game Pass subscriptions, right? Where like if you only have an Xbox or PC, you will get Game Pass for $10 a month, right? It's still going to be the same price on your Xbox. If you have PC Play Anywhere stuff, you can still play PC games there. But if you want to use our xCloud service and Game Pass, right? If you want to stream it to your Switch, your phones, your tablets, whatever, it's going to be $15 a month. And that way you'll have access on multiple devices, not just your Xbox, which I'd still pay $15 a month just to have that access, right?
And I would agree with you, Jesse. Microsoft did that. That's why I said 25. Because I don't know what Nintendo would want to charge or extra. In case they be like, hey, you can now, if you pay the 25, go to an experience or something or whatever. You not only can play Nintendo on Game Pass on your Switch, but you can play it on Windows 10 and Xbox One. Like Nintendo would allow some of their games to be vice versa on their platform if they wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Only through Game Pass.
Right, and with crossplay added on.
Yeah. Well, I still think a lot of the indie games and stuff, like, I think Wargroove is going to be the perfect example of having Xbox Live integrated into it as soon as they put that service on Switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of games are going to get that. So we'll see. But the Switch, 2 years old. I can't wait to have this conversation next year to see where we're at because of all this Microsoft stuff. Personally, because I think it would be super cool to sit down on my couch and play Halo on my Switch while I'm just watching TV or whatever. So my biggest question still, which we'll get to it on a different episode, but my biggest question is, will I be able to stream games from my Xbox to my Switch like Destiny or Apex or Anthem? You know what I mean? So, but that's a discussion for a different day. Just throwing that nugget out there. So, yeah, happy birthday, Switch.
Happy birthday, Switch.
Here's to another year, I guess. I don't know. So before we get out of here, I do want to. We've been kind of talking about some things about how we want to kind of either restructure this show, and we've been having some scheduling conflicts for Arsenal X, and particularly, which is our Xbox show. If you don't listen to that, we are going to try to restructure both shows a little bit, just to deliver a quality show. You're probably going to have a little bit shorter experiences from both shows, but I just, we were talking before the show a little bit about what we kind of wanted to do with this show and that show. It's been a little bit of a, I think we've been at least I've been a little bit stressed on what to do, because we usually record Pow Block during the day on Saturdays, right? Where we're all home, kind of getting ready to record stuff, and we have a short amount of time to do that. But in doing that, like, Ed, you work late, and Jesse and I are kind of like, we usually record Arsenal X when you get home, but it's usually at like, well, my time, it's usually around 1 or 1:15 a.m. my time, and with schedules and my baby waking up and stuff early, it's like, I think we're kind of feeling like I'm getting tired at around like 11 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie to you. And we've been kind of discussing how we can kind of address how we can fit both shows during the day, or do we want to merge both shows together to give one big quality product in one podcast? And like, we've thrown some ideas around, and I think we want to restructure both shows to where maybe they're 50 to 60 minutes long, only addressing one or two bigger news stories and talk about what we've been playing, and maybe have either questions at the end or a discussion point. But I don't know if you guys want to chime in at all or anything, but
go ahead, Jesse.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like, I've kind of like seen this kind of somewhat coming, just because I knew once you had a kid that things are gonna change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And and like for me too, like I can stay up late on Saturdays, but like I'd rather get up early and and do this, because this is like the only time right now kind of that we have to really do stuff. And so like it's hard for me to not only get up early to do this, but then to have to try to stay up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And and that's an hour later for Corey, so for him to be up that late is just ridiculous too. So yeah, like it's just like I feel like like this, just us doing the like an hour a piece. I think most people, that's kind of what they want to look for when they're looking for a small podcast to listen to anyways. So like, yeah, I think people are going to probably enjoy it a lot more. And, obviously it's going to take us some time, maybe to really figure it out. But I think once we get used to that, like limiting ourselves, it will become easier and easier.
Yeah. So. And like, I felt bad for a while, because like we had actually discussed about putting Arsenal X on hiatus indefinitely, right? Because like, I mean, I'm not trying to like, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't want people to think like we're picking on Ed or anything, but Ed's in a different situation than Jesse and I, right? I mean, I think that's safe to say, where Jesse and I now have kids and family, and kids wake up early, apparently. And like what did we 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe it was like 3 weeks ago, but like we were up recording Arsenal X super late, and like my kid, a dog. My kid knows what sound a dog makes. But we got done recording. I went to bed at like it was like 3:45 in the morning here, and my kid woke up at 8, which is a decent time for a kid to wake up, right? But like when I'm going to bed at like 3:45 or 4 o'clock, like that's not enough sleep. And like that's it. I didn't want to get rid of Arsenal X completely, right? Because we all enjoy talking about Xbox stuff, and we played around with merging the shows too. But then, like, does that make a quality show if we're talking about two separate things that maybe people aren't interested in Nintendo, right? And only want to hear about Xbox stuff? Or what if the Nintendo people don't care about Xbox and only want to hear about Nintendo stuff, right? And, Ed, Arsenal X is your show too, and it's like I don't want to take anything away from Ed either. Like I enjoy Arsenal X. we in this today was actually like the first time we actually got to talk about it.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, Ed. I didn't mean to cut you off earlier.
Oh no. So okay, and we're gonna do a little bit talk of Arsenal X, like to, but let me address the hiatus thing. We're gonna put AX on hiatus until we figure out some schedule things, getting that all worked out. We're still gonna do AX, and like we're gonna talk about the GDC and E3. Those two are important to AX. But at this point in time, with so much Nintendo stuff coming out and not much of Xbox stuff coming out, we were just gonna hold off until we get more stuff to talk about and get schedules and stuff fixed. So we did come up with a plan on how we are going to go about each show. So you guys are still going to get into AX content, and do check out this week's AX to get the full story. We are going to be doing both shows still separately, but we're going to be trying to record. If Nintendo has more stuff to talk about, we're going to focus on Nintendo and do a little AX show, or vice versa. So I think that's the kind of that right now, that's the solution that we have, until something else might change and stuff. But that's how we're going to go about the show. So about these shows. So a little restructuring, a little focus, give you guys better quality than just quantity. That's our focus for actually, even with Nerds Gone Platinum, that's kind of our focus, is giving you guys great quality in these shows. They're just the quantity. So we are going to do our best to deliver. I have talked to the guys about how we could go about things, how we could set things, and hopefully you guys will still subscribe to Arsenal X, still stay with us for Nintendo Pop Block, because we got a lot of stuff that we all love to talk about and very passionate about, and we want to deliver it to you guys.
Yeah, and like, when we're still gonna have news stories in both shows, but for Power Block, and I think for Arsenal X too, we're gonna make it more about those two kind of, we're going to turn those news stories kind of into discussion points instead of news stories, quote unquote. And then, if there's a big game out that we're all playing, we're going to spend a little bit more time on that, as opposed to like, what have you been playing? ... Like robot, like,
Yes.
Not that I don't enjoy talking about what we've been playing. I do. I would just rather have like I would rather have a better conversation about that, instead of like, Ed, it's your turn to tell us what you've been playing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would like to try to at least have a little bit more of a roundtable discussion on games that are out or what we've been playing, instead of like that robotic approach to it. And then we move into discussions about certain news stories. It's kind of what Ed, you and I specifically talked about this probably 4 or 5 months ago, about the writing stuff, where one thing I like about Game Informer, right, they'll report a news story, right, but at the bottom they'll have, what's our take on this, and they kind of like give their thoughts on what's happening with this news story.
Yes.
And if we ever start putting news on our website, I don't know, we haven't really had that discussion. That's something you, me, and Jason really kind of need to talk about, since we're kind of like the main quote unquote writers, even though I haven't written anything in like a year. Just being busy. I actually have been writing a little bit lately, and it's actually got me excited. But if we ever do that, that's something you, me, and Jason will need to talk about.
Yes.
But I really like that approach to news stories, is like, what's our take on these news stories, instead of like reporting the news too, because it's kind of, a lot of podcasts do that, where they just like talk about the news and then move on, right? And that's kind of what we have done, which, don't get me wrong, it's been successful for us, but I want it to be more of a discussion, these shows to be more discussion based than just clicking off some checkboxes. And then Nintendo Power Block will still have question block at the end, or if we don't have any questions, we'll have a third kind of broader discussion, and then I think it's going to be the same for Arsenal X as well.
Yes.
So I think we're aiming like somewhere between 45 and 60 minutes per show, depending on what the topics are and what show we need to focus on more that week, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some weeks you might get a 40-minute POW block, and that's fine as long as it's quality and we're having the right discussions and everything. So, but other weeks you might have an 80-minute POW block. So, you know, I'm happy we've come to this decision on these shows because Arsenal X is important for us too, you know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to take anything away from Arsenal X. I didn't really want to cancel it outright, you know, because that was I didn't want that to be a possibility, you know, because I mean that's kind of why Jesse was kind of like brought in almost, you know, because Xbox aficionado here, and then you know Ed does such a good job hosting that I think that show has a quality to it that needs to be around. So you know we kind of had that discussion, and this is kind of what we've come up with.
Yes.
So yeah, good times. Anything else you guys want to add to that before we get out of here?
I do want to address, talk about the movie commentaries. We are, hopefully, we try to do something like that still for you guys. And it would probably, this is going to seem kind of weird. We might do it where it might be just me and Jesse doing the movie, or me and Corey, or even Jesse and Corey doing the movie. And if Corey and Jesse wants to do Arsenal X or anything without me at times, they could go ahead and do that. So, but with the movie commentary, we are still going to try to do some of those, and just be able to deliver. And maybe that will make up a week that, you know, nothing comes out, we have nothing to talk about, or we've been busy. We have a movie commentary to fill it in and go about that.
Yeah, I mean, same as POW block too. Like, not next weekend, but the weekend after, we have a super busy Saturday. So like, you guys might do POW block without me, you know, and that's it's the same thing. So, we're trying to figure out. I think we've done a good job of kind of explaining like how we are going to deliver a better quality, not better quality, but a better experience for you guys, and trying to get that stuff out there. So, because I mean, we're running both channels, you know, and it's different because like, you know, Platinum delivers a quality show, but they're only doing the Platinum stuff, right? Besides Moose, right? Like they have their focus there, where we kind of have to focus on both POW block and Arsenal X, and
yes,
provide content for both channels. And you know, I think we've done a pretty good job up to this point, and you know, we're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
and I think we have. So
well, and you're like. And like Moose and Jason are also on our Dark Zone Junkies, but you're still hosting that, so you're kind of still in charge of like finding a lot of the information and stuff like that. And so, like, yeah, like that's the thing. There, you know, there's multiple things. Like me and Corey are doing the Javelins for Hire and the Dark Zone Junkies and Royale with Cheese and you know, like there's a lot of and squad goals, and you know, so we got a lot going on. So you know, like it just like at this point we've got enough content with that we can kind of condense these shows down a little bit, and still give a good, you know, show to listen to. So
yes.
You know, I feel like,
and I still think the pillars of these channels and Nerds Gone Rogue specifically are the podcasts. Like, no doubt, there's more people listening to the podcast than watching the stuff on YouTube, right? I mean, that's just, I mean, with the demographic we're kind of aiming for, and just how people consume things, podcasts are becoming bigger than ever, and people like to listen to podcasts. I mean, I'm no different. Like, you know how many quote unquote channels I subscribe to, but like I don't watch any of their content. I just download their podcasts and listen to them, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're clearly no different since like our subscription base is like 1% of the people that consume our content. So, but anyways, I hope you guys stick around for this show and Arsenal X with a new format. We're switching over to the new format after episode 150, clearly. So, just because we already said we're going to do question block all episodes. So, we're going to switch over to that new format, and I think it'll be good. I think it'll be fun to have broader discussions than just, repeating the news stories and everything that people have already kind of reported on everywhere. So I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good time. So
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, sorry, that was kind of a long rant. I wanted to address that maybe. And Ed, I know you wanted to address it on Arsenal X also. So anyways, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for watching. Remember, you can find Nintendo Power Block every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on your podcast service of choice. Enter our Yoshi's Crafted World giveaway. Subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Nintendo Power Block. And check out all of our content on ngrradio.com. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at @ThatRetroCode. Check out my podcast, Social Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and TuneIn. New episodes will be dropping, and I'm getting ready for the new season for that. And also, if you guys go to ngrradio.com, check out my Crackdown 3 review. You guys would be surprised on what I had to say and what I gave it. So, yes. And then be ready for the next review, which is going to be Devil May Cry 5, and then Yoshi's Crafted World. So, yes.
Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PhantomMaggotAX.
Nice. That was nice and short. I'm just kidding, Ed. Remember how long Ed's outros used to be?
Oh, that's when I was doing like 18,000 podcasts and still do those 18,000 podcasts.
Jeez. You can find me at CorianHD713 on Twitter. You can find me at CorianHD on Instagram and Twitch.tv. You can also find me on Nerds Gone Rogue and various other shows across the platform. Anything else? I think that's it. I want to thank everybody so much for watching, and stay tuned for episode 150 next week, where we're celebrating you. Email us at nintendopowerblock@gmail.com with your questions so we can answer them next week. So it's going to be a good one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next week, we love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.